Good evening, you're watching Left, Right and Centre with me, Sanket Upadhyay. Two parts to one story, one big story today that has happened, which we are going to track on this show. Rahul Gandhi has been convicted in Gujarat by a Gujarat court for certain statements that he made during an election campaigning in another state. Now, because of this conviction, which by the way, the ultimate decision has been suspended right now as we speak, that's what we have learned. Because it is for 2 years in a defamation case where he made a mention of Modi's surname, he could perhaps be disqualified as an MP. That is the law. But will that happen? Because the decision has been suspended. Now, the legality of this case aside, we are going to come to the legality also, speak to legal experts. There is a larger point here, the politics. So there is the legality and there is the politics. In the run-up to 2024, is this a clear case of battle lines drawn, where the BJP will now go to town as they are doing, calling Rahul Gandhi a convict, and on the other hand, Rahul Gandhi presents himself and his Congress party presents him as a crusader, a champion of a cause of uniting the opposition, of standing up to the government, and all of those things have already started. The messaging has begun. So the legality and the politics will be discussed over the next 60 minutes. I would like to introduce our guest this evening. Ashutosh is a senior journalist, Deshratan Nigam, advocate and a political analyst. Tavleen Singh is a columnist and an author. Smita Prakash, editor of the ANI. Aparajita Sarangi, MP of the BJP in Lok Sabha, and Shama Mohammed, spokesperson of the Congress party. Ms. Shama Mohammed, I would like to begin with you first. You've seen what the BJP says. They feel that this is a fit case for an instant and immediate disqualification. And we also see the Congress party's messaging where they feel, and they've said, and we saw a poster today of Srinivas BV who says, Gandhi hai, Savarkar nahi, and he will not apologize. What does one make of the politics? Legality we'll get to later.
So starting from 2018, starting from the Rafale issue, we have seen how the BJP has reacted, because there is only one man out there from our party, our leader, who speaks against the Bharatiya Janata Party, against the RSS, takes out every issue concerning the citizens of India, has spoken about anything which they have done, their corruption issues, Rafale, demonetization. Now the Adani issue itself, as you know, who is the first one to speak about the cronyism is Rahul Gandhi. So they have started, they have been very rattled since 2018. Then of course we have all seen the popularity of the Bharat Jodo, where he went out, met people. It was not a Man Ki Baat, it was Jan Ki Baat, listening to people. That time itself we've seen how they've been attacking Rahul Gandhi on small things like t-shirts and various other things. Then when he embarked on his journey to, he went to UK and he spoke his mind out and things, then they changed those statements. And of course, some part of it, whatever he said, is the truth. Where is democracy right now? There is a party rattled, I must say rattled by Rahul Gandhi, that they do not even allow him to speak in parliament. Now he comes back home and he says there were 4 ministers who accused him of certain things he has said abroad. And what he did, as a very modest man, he comes out and says, listen, I have said, you're accusing me of certain things. I'm going to give an explanation to you in parliament. Please let me speak. They have not allowed him to speak from day one. Where is democracy? Death of democracy. He sent a letter to the speaker. Please allow me to speak. What is worrying them that they are not allowing Rahul Gandhi to speak? Then when there are multiple rapes happening in this country, even yesterday, I saw today morning there has been a rape in Delhi. Nothing. Nobody talks about it, nothing. But they go out just because Rahul Gandhi said in a speech, some women did not want to talk about it to the police. I mean, women have the right to talk about it or not talk about it. So what we see, I'm just showing you the events. Then they go to his house, and right now we have a case in which there is the People's Representation of Act is not taken into consideration. There is a magistrate, there is a conviction given where according to section 202, they need to investigate. There should be a police investigation before that. So there has been no police investigation. Also, in a criminal defamation, the complainant who's made this complaint, there should be a direct reference to him in Rahul Gandhi's remark. There was no direct reference to this particular person. And also, they should be in criminal defamation, a malicious intent. There was no malicious intent where he was talking about price rise and unemployment.
Sure.
So
I get it. So you made your opening comment.
And
I understand the point that you are making.
Let me tell you that we will continue, and Congress party or any of us will not apologize. We are not going to back down. Let us see what they're going to do. We are going to be full on, and we'll take on the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, so for the day, the Lok Sabha has been adjourned, and the proceedings of the Lok Sabha have been adjourned, and tomorrow it will be interesting to see in Parliament what decision is taken, because the BJP spent the whole day, Ms. Sarangi is also with us, trying to suggest that this is a fit case for an immediate disqualification. Aparajita Sarangi, I want to come to you now. Legality on one side, the political message that the Congress has now, or the route that the Congress has now taken, they seem to be challenging this decision and in a way suggesting that this is nothing but the high-handedness of the government.
Puerile, immature and irresponsible. These are the words that come to my mind when I think of Rahul Gandhi and his statements. See, he is a member of parliament. He represents not less than 20 lakh people who reside in his constituency, Wayanad. And I think it's high time his senior leaders taught him to be more responsible. See, I am also a member of parliament. We are supposed to talk in a certain manner. We are supposed to conduct ourselves in a certain manner. We just can't go berserk when we go to foreign soil and talk ill of our country and our systems. We just cannot go to a press conference, a hurriedly called press conference, and tear away the ordinance passed by the Prime Minister's cabinet. And I tell you, this is the 7th case in which he has got his bail. So he is a habitual offender. In CRPC, section 110 talks of habitual offenders, and I can say with all conviction at my command that Rahul Gandhi is a habitual offender. Rahul Gandhi must know how to talk and what not to say. Do's and don'ts must be taught to him. And I tell you, we are talking of the courts of India. When the Congress is challenging the court, they are challenging a constitutional body. And a court constituted, or rather formed under the Constitution of India, works without malice towards anybody. And I tell you, this is a highly considered judgment. 2019 the case is, 4 years have passed, and then thereafter Rahul Gandhi had been given a lot of opportunity to present all his defense. So 4 years have been given. He can't say it has been passed.
The point, Ms. Sarangi, that Shama Mohammed is making,
So
that the complainant must be a direct party to this case, and that is not the case in this matter.
And no police investigation.
And no police investigation. Your response?
Now let me tell you, Purnesh Modi has a surname which is Modi. Isn't it good enough? Number one. Number two, in this case, in Patna court also he has got his bail, and there Sushil Kumar Modi had filed the case against him. And I have a list of all those cases where he has actually gone into trouble because he doesn't know what to say, when to say and what not to say. See, number one, December 2015, National Herald case, he's on bail, please remember. And 6 July 2019, in fact, again, in Patna court, as I mentioned, all Modis are thieves, he had said. Sushil Kumar Modi had gone to the court and then he had got the bail. 12th July 2019, again, bail by Ahmedabad court in a defamation case against him. I have the full list. I tell you, in November 2016, Bhiwandi court in Maharashtra had granted him bail because an RSS worker had gone to the court against him and filed a defamation suit. So I think I have a whole list of 7 cases.
Sure, I'm going to give Shama Mohammed the right to reply a little later, but Tavleen Singh, I want to come to you now. Forget the legality for a moment. We will come to that later because, the legal arguments in courts will be made. But the political message over here, what the Congress seems to be doing now and what the BJP seems to be suggesting. How do you look at this?
To tell you the truth, it is really worrying that a country with a mature democracy, we've had democracy, it's our greatest asset, should be so thin-skinned about a remark that really in another country would have been treated as, okay, he shouldn't have said that, but let it go. But to actually, because if you listen to the speech, it's just a kind of casual remark. Just compare that to the kind of things that were said about Trump when he was president, or which in mature democracies, people don't take offense that easily. So, the messaging of the BJP, to me, is for the first time showing insecurity. And I can't understand that at all, right? I'm not defending what Rahul said or saying that, he's always, I believe personally that he's been a little bit reckless in his comments. But, to then stall Parliament for 3 weeks or whatever, 2 weeks, what is it, 2 weeks now? Yeah. Because they demand an apology for something he did not say, right? So as far as I'm concerned, the BJP's messaging, I don't understand. I think that Rahul Gandhi, the messaging from the Congress party is clearer, which is that he is their prime ministerial candidate and that he's being targeted because of that. So, if they go to the people and say, oh, he's a criminal, people are just going to laugh. That's my view.
Okay. Smita Prakash, do you think that the Congress party will now, as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, go to town with a message that Rahul Gandhi is the crusader? He dares to say things that others shudder to say. He does not apologize when there is a defamation case.
Sanket, they would have done that regardless of whether it is this case or not, because that's what the entire plan has been ever since the Bharat Jodo Yatra, that he's this one man on a crusade against people who are subjugating democracy in the country. That's been the image, that's been the messaging, and that's what is going to happen all through 2023 till we head into an election mode. As far as this case is concerned, let it go is something that Tavleen ji just said. Understandable that many would say that it's frivolous or don't do this, what is this, it's thin skin. But the fact is that a law exists, however archaic it is. The fact is that it is there, and if somebody's reputation is thought to be damaged through libel or slander, he or she can go to court. And in India, fortunately, unfortunately, we have an array of vague laws, and every political party, when in the opposition, they say that these laws should go. But then when they come to power, they slap those very laws. And you can talk about so many laws, whether it is sedition law, whether it is that criminal defamation, whether it is hurting religious sentiment, Official Secrets Act. One can list it because we have seen both sides as media. So we can very well see. But it's obvious that RG's team will appeal in a higher court, and that is the legal course that they will take. And the other matter is of his parliament tenure, whether he will get disqualified, which we saw today, all the BJP saying that, quoting that 2013 judgment. Apparently not immediately will that will happen, because the Surat court has convicted him but suspended the sentence for 30 days. So during that period, the Congress will appeal in a higher court, so he will not be suspended in Parliament. But unfortunately, the fallout is that, again, no work will get done in Parliament.
Exactly. And now we are hearing that the Parliament may get adjourned sine die ahead of its scheduled time of adjournment. So one does not know. We'll have to see. It's been adjourned for the day. Tomorrow it reconvenes. Deshatan Nigam, I want to ask you this technicality. You see, the Supreme Court in 2013 had very clearly stated that if a person is convicted for 2 years in prison, then in that case, there is a case of immediate disqualification. So that ambiguity ended, which existed earlier, that you can exercise all the legal options and then, you may be disqualified as a member, representative of the people. In this case, the BJP is mounting an argument that yes, this applies even now. However, there is enough argument being made by the Congress that since the decision itself has been suspended for 30 days, that is not the case here.
Well, one thing is very clear. The alleged crusaders do not give unconditional apology when Supreme Court comes down heavily on them. So let's begin from there. And secondly, the legal question that you have asked is from the Representation of Peoples Act, Section 8(3), where, let me tell you, the wordings are very clear that it does not, although disqualification is there, but it does not take effect for 3 months. Or in the meantime, if some appeal or revision is filed, till the decision. That is what the written law, and that section has not been said to be unconstitutional. Now, this is the second, redressal that the Rahul Gandhi has tried to achieve in this particular case. Earlier also, what had happened that in the Supreme Court when Subramanian Swamy filed a case to decriminalize defamation, where the division bench upheld the criminalization of defamation, and later on Arvind Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi became a party to that case, so that criminal defamation cases do not, continue against them. But the Supreme Court rejected that and upheld that, said that you cannot attack the reputation of somebody because it is a part of right to life under Article 21. Because it goes with that. Because if you damage somebody's reputation, kill somebody's reputation, his life is like a vegetable. And therefore, Supreme Court upheld it and found a balance between the freedom of speech and the attacking somebody's reputation. They found a fine balance. So it's not an archaic law. It has been taken into consideration after taking various facts and circumstances of India, not of US or UK. So let's be very clear about it. And the Parliament has continued with this law and the Supreme Court has upheld the constitutional validity. Now, secondly, let us be very clear again, in this particular case, the entire community was defamed. You should know what you speak. There should not be anybody who has the surname Modi is a thief. And anybody with the name of Modi can file a case, will result in a cause of action in filing a case against Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Therefore, to say that he did not have a malicious intent, the malicious intent is writ large over the entire sentence. Why do you require, and I find it very strange when Rahul Gandhi makes a statement in Chatham House or Cambridge, why does it require 100-man army of Congress to give various interpretations to it? It should be crystal clear. Why does an ambiguous statement is made at various places that he require an army of people to give various color to it, which he did not even intend, which he did not even know?
Ashutosh, I want to come to you now and ask you this very basic, again, coming back to the politics. Do you feel, whose messaging do you think will convince the people more? The Congress party, which says, and by the way, very recently what we saw only yesterday, not even recently, yesterday, a poster war in the national capital. We did not see the Aam Aadmi Party being supported by the Congress when Manish Sisodia was arrested, yet an Arvind Kejriwal has come out in support of Rahul Gandhi. So do you feel that episodes and more episodes like these could get in the opposition together and more importantly position Rahul Gandhi as the crusader against Modi in the build-up to 24?
Sanket, I'll take a liberty to answer that question later. First, let me say what I want to say on this issue itself.
Sure.
I think it's not that simple as we all are assuming, or few of the panelists are talking about. It's not a question of legality and technicality or the constitutionally per se. Democracy is world over, is undermined, subjugated only through the constitution and only through legalities and technicality. Let's be very clear on that point. Last 48 hours has been very depressing for all of us for the simple reason. Look at the cases. In the last 48 hours, you will put up a poster in Delhi, Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao, there will be more than 100 FIRs. People will be arrested. This has never happened. In DU, the 8 students were punished. You know for what? For watching BBC film. Is it a crime? Has the DU administration gone insane? Chetan Kumar, a Dalit Kannada actor, was arrested for on his comments on the Hindutva. Then Irfan Mehraj, he was arrested under UAPA, a journalist in Kashmir. And then Rahul Gandhi has been harassed for the last 2 weeks because he made certain statements about democracy. And now you compare this with the Bilkis Bano case. The rapists were given remission, and they were offered sweets and the garlands, and relatives of them were given tickets by the BJP. Then the Delhi High Court has given an order on Anurag Thakur, Goli Maro Saleh, whatever. If you are making a statement with a smile face, then your offense is not. So, and then there has been a cabinet minister who flew from Delhi to the Jharkhand and gave sweets and garlands. I don't want to name the person. Now, in 48 hours, is it not offensive? Is it not a matter of concern for all of us that today the defamation, the legal cases are taken out to shrink democratic space, to kill dissent in the country, and everything is happening under the guise of law? So forget about the politics. The politics is very simple. That till 2024, anybody who is speaking in the government, he should be behind the bar, and every usable legalities will be used. My friend from BJP spokesperson is talking about the bail. At one point of time, I was on bail on 5 matters. So anybody can complain against Sanket Thakur. You have no other option than to get bails. So just you are on bail doesn't put you a criminal. In this country, the Home Minister was called Tadipar by the Supreme Court itself. Was he criminal? No, he was not criminal. But that's how your judicial system per se. They don't talk about the Tadipar, but they will remind people about bail pay, because they want to create a narrative in this country. And that's unfortunate. Create a narrative because he's a political opponent, but don't kill democracy in the country. Don't shrink the opposition space in this country.
Okay, I'm gonna request the BJP MP Aparajita Sarangi to reply to this, but everyone do stay on. We'll just be back in a moment. Just one moment. Please do stay on. Welcome back. Ms. Aparajita Sarangi, would you like to respond to what Ashutosh said about using democratic tools and constitutional tools to crush opponents?
See, this is absolutely far from the truth that the Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to crush the opponents by using these constitutional bodies. I can tell you with all conviction at my command that the Constitution of India and the law of the land are supreme and above every person, every family and every dynasty. Now, nobody has given this gentleman the right to go beyond the boundaries of India and say things which he should not have said. I think one of the spokesperson just said he was actually, his facts, whatever he said there was misrepresented by BJP. Not at all. He definitely said there that the democracy in India is in danger, and why are Europe and America sitting still? What does it imply? What is the interpretation? I think we are all intelligent enough to understand the implications. Now you remember, I'm a member of parliament. We want our parliament to run. And what happened when the Pegasus issue had been brought out?
Ms. Sarangi, I hope you remember, I hope you recall that this present session, one moment, Aparajita Sarangi, this present session of parliament is not being allowed to function because of the treasury benches. You are the one who's saying that he needs to apologize.
This is absolutely the truth again. Now,
what is the truth?
Yes, of course. We demand an apology. This is so simple. He has to apologize in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha. He's a member of the Lok Sabha.
But then he's saying, let me speak.
When he took
how do I do anything if I am not allowed to speak?
See, he wants to offer explanation. He doesn't want to offer apology. There is a difference between the two.
Now this is a condition that you have put.
It's very easy to offer an explanation and say something in defense. No, it's not a condition. We are just saying that please
Can he not do that? No, I'm just trying to understand. One more. Aparajita Sarangi, can he not do that?
We have heard him on social media. Don't we know what he has said?
But Aparajita Sarangi, by that logic, no MP should speak in parliament. We have heard all MPs on social media, outside.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that whatever he said in London and in Cambridge, I think it's known to 140 crore Indians. He will be coming to the Lok Sabha and he'll be offering explanation. He would be justifying himself, which will not
But
be
I'm
acceptable
saying, what
to
is the
Bharatiya Janata
illegality
Party.
if he does that?
We are here for nation's dignity.
Sanket,
We
can
are
I
here for
speak?
nation's
Yeah,
dignity,
one
and there
more.
can be no compromise
I
with
need to
nation's
withdraw.
dignity.
Yes, Shama, Shama, I'll come
Now
to you.
please let me be given 30 seconds.
Sure,
Just
ma'am.
a minute. See, the point is, we were talking about his errant behavior. Now you remember the Pegasus issue. I was just drawing you to Pegasus and we actually diverted from this concern. Pegasus issue, the entire parliament session was stalled by the Congress because of Pegasus. Now the Supreme Court said, please, anybody has a mobile phone, you think there is Pegasus, please come to us. And Rahul Gandhi was also asked to give his mobile phone, he didn't give. There were 29 mobile phones where there was no Pegasus element. So I think as far as Pegasus issue is concerned, Rafale is
You see,
concerned, Central
Aprajita
Vista
Sarangi, you
is
see, the thing
concerned,
is, Shama
demonetization
Mohammed
is
and then
concerned.
Tavleen Singh.
Every
I understand
time-
the point that you're making,
every
but
time they
let
have
me
been
let me
raising
take
the
you back
issue,
further
but
in
they bite the
history.
dust in the Supreme
2010, entire winter session of Parliament washed out because the then BJP wanted a JPC in the 2G.
And
What happened in 2G? Acquittals. So, the same logic can be extended in various cases. Shama Mohammed and then Tavleen Singh, one by one.
A couple of things I need to reply to Aparajita Sarangi. She mentioned Pegasus. She should know that the Supreme Court also said the government of India did not cooperate on the inquiry. So, madam, please listen to it. Then she says something that we are all proud of our judiciary. I'm also proud, madam, but none of our people have ever threatened the judiciary. Kiran Rijiju, the other day, the law minister said, some judges are acting in a certain way, they better act in a proper way, otherwise they will have to sue. That is basically threatening the judiciary, threatening democracy. And, first they called all of us anti-national, students, media, the opposition. Now the judges, according to them, are anti-national. Then she said, one has to conduct ourselves in a certain manner. Now, I want to remind her that Prime Minister Modi in Parliament, when Mr. Manmohan Singh was sitting there, said, he takes a shower with a raincoat. He stands under the shower with a raincoat. I mean, how dare. Another incident when he accused Manmohan Singh, General Kapoor and Hamid Ansari of conspiring with Pakistan, all right, to overthrow his government in Gujarat. That was in 2017. Has he apologized when he accused a general, an army general? You are accusing the army of treason. Remember that. Has he apologized to Manmohan Singh? No. Has he apologized to General Kapoor? No. Who is this man? Does he conduct himself in a certain way? Then she said, can't talk ill on a foreign soil. Before 2014, it was sinful to be born in India. Who said that? Narendra Modi. Before 2014, it was a shame to be born in India. Who said that? Narendra Modi. He said what? Congress is a corrupt party. He goes abroad and talks about us. Who is in jail for corruption? I'll tell you the name, Yedurappa, 2011 convicted. Tell me, madam, which is our minister or any member of parliament who has been convicted? Nobody. And also for your kind information, Amit Shah's case for Ishrat Jahan started, who said he's guilty? The lower courts. Then the High Court in Gujarat said he's guilty. Then it went in for a CBI probe. So do not point fingers at us when you are sitting in a glass house. That's not possible.
Okay.
Here the issue, no. She said there are do's and don'ts. Okay. Who called Renuka Chaudhary Surpanaka in the parliament? Who did that? Tell me. 50 crore ka girlfriend, Jersey cow. Who gives Narendra Modi the permission to speak whatever
Okay, fine.
he wants?
I'll give Ms. Aprajita a right to reply, but yeah,
Sarangi,
I've got your point.
and
Shama Mohammed, got your point. Tavleen Singh and then, Tavleen Singh first and then Smita Prakash.
Yeah,
Ms. Singh,
Sanket,
the original point that you made of thin skinning right now that we see in politics.
Okay, can I just say that I have to leave quite soon?
Sure,
So I'm
ma'am.
just going to make a couple of points.
Yeah.
One is that the BJP MP saying that the reason why he's not being allowed to speak is he's going to give an explanation, not an apology. Does she understand what democracy means? That, you cannot have some MP from the Treasury benches deciding what the opposition should say. Then you would, for that matter, just close Parliament down. The Treasury benches can then decide forever what the opposition should be saying. So she needs to think about that very seriously. Secondly, when I said about being thin-skinned, aren't we proud of being a mature democracy? Do we really need to object to every little, frankly, to every little speech? And secondly, thirdly, and then I really have to go.
Yeah.
Nobody has been more offensive than BJP spokespersons about everyone, about journalists, about politicians, and the charges that they have made without ever needing to prove them is treason, all sorts of things like that. So who is the BJP one to decide what some leader of the opposition should be saying? And secondly, look in your own house and check the people that are talking, check the MPs that go around threatening Muslims with sending them to Pakistan. Please, let's be a little bit, if we're going to be thin-skinned, then everyone is in the same boat.
Okay, all
Can I
right.
go? I'm sorry.
Thank you
I
very
really
much,
have to
Tavleen Singh, for joining us. Now,
Sandeep, you know
Smita
what
Prakash,
she's
one
saying?
moment.
One second,
No,
Sandeep,
Smita
one
Prakash
point.
first. She's been
Apajita
waiting for a
saying
while.
That he's putting a gun on Rahul Gandhi's head and saying, you know what, you have to apologize or we won't let you speak in the parliament. What sort of thing is
Okay,
she-
one
yeah,
moment.
she
Smita
proved-
Prakash.
She proved that there is dictatorship and undeclared emergency in this
Smita Prakash first, and then I'll have to give a right to reply to Miss Aprajita also,
let me
because
tell you, madam, I'm joking.
two commentators have spoken against what Miss Aprajita said, so I'll give her a right to reply, but first Smita Prakash.
I think I will let the politicians go after each other, because if each of them have accusations about being offensive and thin-skinned, so let them say it. As far as I'm concerned, I just want to answer that one point that you asked Ashutosh, whether the poster war is unifying factor. I don't think he answered it at that stage. The poster war is not a unifying factor. Pegasus was not a unifying factor. Crony capitalism is not a unifying factor
this
for
conviction.
the opposition. In fact, no issue. Simply because all parties are not... Sorry?
No, I'm saying, is this conviction, could this be perhaps a unifying
The parties
factor?
are not coming together. No.
Okay.
It's not going to be, simply because several reasons. Mamata Banerjee is not willing to play second fiddle to Rahul Gandhi, so the Congress portraying him as a crusader is not working to Mamata's game plan. She has met with Naveen Patnaik. She is expected in Delhi next month. She is meeting with Arvind Kejriwal. You'll see that none of them want this messiah portrayal of Rahul Gandhi to be the unifying factor for a united opposition. So whatever Jairam Ramesh might say and whatever the Congress parties might say, the regional parties are not willing to accept Congress under Rahul Gandhi as the leader of the opposition.
Okay.
They will sink or swim against the BJP, but they will not accept Congress
Okay.
as the lifeboat
Sure.
to fight against the BJP.
Last comment by Aprajita Sarangi. Ms. Aprajita, you heard the comments of Tavleen Singh as well as Shama Mohammed, was saying that if you want to point fingers at others, should look at the comments made by BJP leaders. Ashutosh made the same comment.
Congress party at this juncture is in a shambles. In 1951, barring Tamil Nadu, they were everywhere in the country, and we know right now the position of Congress party in the country. So I think at this juncture they should look within themselves.
Ma'am, the question was
and
on
they should
applying the
not
law
actually
equally.
sermonize
Undeclared
others.
emergency in this country.
Now, mature
Undeclared
democracy
emergency. Think about
needs
that.
mature leaders. We need to make mature statements. And all these people who are talking in favor of Congress and the statements of Rahul Gandhi, let me ask them just simple two questions. Number one, in 2019 when he said all Modis are thieves, is it the right way to talk? A member of parliament, should he or she talk like that? Number one. Number two, a member of parliament who has sworn by the Constitution of India when he actually sits in the chair in the Lok Sabha can go to London and talk like that about the country?
But she's
So I think
repeating
these are
the
On
same
both
point.
these
What
counts,
about
Aprajita,
Prime
you have got,
Minister Modi?
Miss
What
Aprajita,
about
on
Prime
both these
Minister Modi?
counts,
don't have answers.
you have heard,
I don't have answers to these two questions.
She's not
That's
talking
it.
about Prime Minister Modi, who went abroad and spoke the same thing. I mean, he spoke worse. I mean, at least Rahul Gandhi is ready to explain, and he clearly said that, this is our issue, this is an internal issue. And
Okay, quick
India
10
can
seconds.
solve
Ms.
it.
Aparajita,
Rahul
do you
Gandhi
have a,
said
do you
that.
want
Why
to,
would you reply to what
do you
Modi
want to
why
reply
is
to
that?
this specific
Why is
point
he
or not?
not
I'm running out of
Our
time.
Prime Minister,
Okay,
yes,
can I
he went
speak?
to Seoul. And he said, but our Prime Minister never talked of Europe and America. We do not want Europe and America to come
Okay,
and
fine.
teach us as to how
We're going to
run
put
our
a hard
democracy.
stop to this discussion.
Yes.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Joining us right now is Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani. Thank you very much, Mr. Jethmalani. The first and the most important question over here is whether this is a case of a disqualification of an MP. What are your views?
Yeah, I mean, the law mandates that, it's not me who says it, it's the law that mandates that if you've been convicted for, in any offense, which is and the sentence for that conviction is 2 years, right? Not less than 2 years. So, then of course you stand automatically disqualified. Originally it used to be that it took effect 3 months after. There was a provision under the Representation of People's Act, but the Supreme Court has struck down that and says Parliament has no right by law to postpone the date of disqualification by 3 months. It will take effect immediately upon the conviction and sentence.
Mr. Jethmalani, you see there is a slight catch here, and I want to understand from you, how do you view this? You see, the judgment itself the decision has been suspended for 30 days to allow appeal. Now, does that change or does that have any, perhaps any impact on a disqualification? Because the Congress feels it does.
No, I think, Sanket, I don't think the judgment has been suspended, because the trial court, only the appellate court has a right of suspension of a conviction, right? The court which passed the conviction order, that is the trial court, doesn't have the power to suspend it, right? It can't do that. What it's done is, it's granted him bail, right? So the sentence and the conviction stands, but he's been granted bail, so he's not taken into custody. Were the court not to grant him bail for a period of 30 days, right? Then he would have to surrender to custody, because he's then a convict. So they've given him 30 days to appeal, and pending that they kept him on bail. But neither his conviction nor his sentence has been suspended.
So you are, from what I understand...
So the Congress has misread the judgment.
So Mr. Jethmalani, for the benefit of our viewers, because this is an important and critical technicality, the Congress is,
Yes.
giving us to believe that there is a suspension here of the decision, which then gives him that much time. So you are saying that there is absolutely no impact.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
There is no power of the trial court to suspend a sentence and conviction passed by it. There is no power, right? What it can do is it can release him on bail for a particular period of time till he files his appeal. So he doesn't have to surrender to custody. Right now his conviction and suspension stands. It has not been set aside by the trial court. Indeed, the trial court has no power to do so. But the trial court has given him the facility of appealing for 30 days, and during the 30 days, it has released him on bail for 30 days. Till then, he has to get an order. Either the court will dismiss the appeal, right? Or it will stay the sentence, or it will stay the conviction and sentence, or it will release him on bail so that he doesn't have to surrender to custody. There are 4 options left to the appellate court. But it's all in the hands of the appellate court.
But either way, you are saying that the law as of this moment stands as of 10th July 2013, where anyone who is convicted, then that public representative, he will have to step down, or he'll be removed from public office.
He stands immediately disqualified. That's the law by the Supreme Court in 2013, right? Now, he stands immediately disqualified, but he can exercise his right of appeal. And as per that judgment of 2013, if he succeeds in getting a suspension of his conviction pending his appeal, that disqualification stands in abeyance, and he can continue to be a member of parliament.
And I think that's the point that many in the Congress are making about, exploring all legal options. So you feel that that legality still exists in favor of the Congress. for him to continue as an MP?
Well, if he goes to the appellate court and he gets a stay of conviction, it will. I mean, it happened in the past. It's happened in the past. After the 2013 judgment, the Kerala High Court has done that in some case. Of a sitting MLA or MP, I'm not sure.
Mr. Jethmalani, is this a case of
It stayed his conviction.
is this a case of immediate disqualification or subject to, reasonable rationale, discussion, or can the speaker in his right take this decision? Is this the speaker's decision now?
No. By operation of law, he stands disqualified, right? He stands disqualified, but the decision has to be communicated to the speaker. But as of today, the moment the conviction order is passed and the sentence is 2 years or more, right? The accused person, if he's a member of parliament or a member of a legislature, he stands disqualified from that post.
Now,
So it's by immediate operation of law.
Mr. Jethmalani, now this is about, how the law should be read and whether there should be an immediate disqualification. Or let's now talk about this very case itself. The Congress party feels that the manner in which this case has been processed in courts, that many different Modis have objected to the statement and, these proceedings have taken place. It just makes the whole process political in nature. I'm not commenting on the decision of the court, but the manner in which it has been pursued in court.
What do you mean the manner in which it has been pursued? Listen, there is a section 499 and 500 which together encompasses the ingredients of the offence of somebody has been aggrieved. That person has gone to court. He's what's called the complainant. After a full-fledged trial in which Rahul Gandhi, presumably through his lawyers, has cross-examined him, have raised all their defenses, he has been found guilty of that particular offence and he's got the sentence of 2 years. So what do you mean the process is tainted? I mean, all these cliches and shibboleths which the Congress keeps using are pure obfuscation. It's a very simple matter. I mean, you want to confuse the layman, you can. They've been doing it all the time. I mean, Rahul Gandhi says this all the time. He says Pegasus, that my phones were tapped by Pegasus and he refused to give his phone. So, I mean, what are we talking about? It's a very simple thing. We don't have to go into verbal obfuscation and some kind of semantic fraud.
I'll tell you another point that is being made. That by disqualification, you would have Rahul Gandhi out of parliament and then he will not be able to accuse the government and exert pressure for an inquiry into the Hindenburg report.
Look, these are all, I don't know, these are all Congress strategies. You're asking me about Congress strategies. Most of the time I'm not aware of them. Most of the time I can't understand them, Sanket. So what are you asking me? You're asking me to comment on the Congress strategy. I don't know. Well, good luck to whatever strategy they want. Most of it has been misconceived for the last so many years.
Mr. Jethmalani, there is another important question over here and many lawmakers have raised this in the past. They say that there is a very strong need of decriminalizing the defamation law because it is not used, in fact it is used in a very unjust way. How would you respond?
Well, let me tell you, the Congress is now trying to shut the stable door after the horse has bolted. Subramaniam Swamy took this matter up and said precisely the same thing. He said that the criminal defamation law needs to be quashed because it's violative of Article 19(1)(a), the freedom of speech clause, right? And the Supreme Court has rejected it. So, Congress has suddenly woken up and it affects one of them or their leader.
No, it's not just the Congress. You see, even the Aam Aadmi Party, Raghav Chadha says that he is going to, ask for an introduction of this bill because his own leader, by the way, has faced many defamation cases, criminal defamation cases.
Yeah, so these are people who believe in the right to abuse freely and then not stand up for what they say.
There's also an allegation, Mr. Jethmalani, that
So, I mean, if you want,
the rule is not evenly applicable. I mean, there are many cases where some extremely defamatory comments have been made by senior BJP leaders, and the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party alleges that the Prime Minister himself uses expression like 50 crore ki girlfriend, raincoat for the former Prime Minister, and many others. I mean, you would know. I don't want to repeat all of them.
I see. I don't know what are the exact defamatory cases, but so far nobody has filed a defamation case against the Prime Minister. So obviously there's been no substance in what they're saying.
Okay. In the end, Mr. Jethmalani, I just want to ask you this question. So from what I understand that you have just told us, there is a case of immediate disqualification because that is what the law suggests. That is what the suggests. That is what the law says.
Yes.
But there is a technicality that the Congress can exploit to continue with the membership.
Yes. Yes, of course. It's not a technicality. It's a, please don't call it a technicality, Sanket. It's a substantive right of appeal. He has a right of appeal. He can go to the Sessions Court and seek a stay of his conviction and revive his right to be a member of parliament.
All right. Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you so much.